Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. How much should Johnny Depp get when all is said and done? Will he actually come out of this trial ahead? And if so, how much will he come out ahead? How much do you think Johnny Depp should be given in damages in the case that he does win? So in this episode, we're going to examine the possibility of Johnny Depp winning and what he's likely to win if he does win. Before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. So, do you think Johnny Depp is going to win his defamation case? And it's quite important to ask this question before the outcome. What do you think is likely to happen? They say one of the best predictors of the future is the past. And in terms of this, Johnny Depp's track record right at the moment ain't so great. He lost both trials in the UK, first the original defamation and secondly the appeal when he took the Sun to court for calling him a wife beater. And so in that particular case, Amber Heard actually testified in support of the Sun's allegations, and there were actually 14 alleged assaults that the judge had to rule on. 14, not one or two. I'll put a link to those in the description, and I might do that as a separate episode, just going through all of them one by one, step by step, because I think there are quite a few people who also kind of have this impression that there's not been a single instance of that sort of thing. And what do you think the answer is, that it's never ever occurred, or that it may have occurred? Now, in terms of the current case taking place in a Virginia courtroom, could the outcome be any different to these back-to-back losses in the United Kingdom? Well, it could be. First of all, as far as I'm aware, the courts take a more flexible view of defamation in Virginia than across the pond, meaning defamation suits in general are more likely to be successful. Secondly, this is a civil trial of two American actors in front of an American jury. Of the two actors, who would you say has got the most, not credibility, but whose celebrity status is the greater between the two? So if you use Instagram as a measure, Depp has about 3 times as many followers as Heard, with 13.5 million as opposed to just 4.2 million for Amber Heard. For comparison, Alec Baldwin only has 2.4 million followers. Also worth noting, Jason Momoa, who has 13 million followers, almost as many as Depp, and starred opposite Amber Heard in Aquaman, and does so again in Aquaman 2. He recently followed Depp on Instagram, it seems like this is being widely assumed as a show of support. It may be, it may not be. Anyway, just hours ago, certainly when I wrote this particular script, Depp returned the favor and is following Jason Momoa now. Now, certainly from my position, I really have no horse in this race. I'm seeing a lot more supportive statements and comments for Johnny Depp than for Amber Heard. I see the hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp. I don't see something similar for Amber Heard. If the jury feels the same way that the average person does on YouTube, Amber may be in some trouble. On the other hand, looking at the merits of the case, Heard's Washington Post article, in which she never actually mentions her ex-husband's name, it's difficult to imagine that article is worth even 1 million in damages. And what I'm talking about here is that is really the substance of the suit, that article. And so going by the word of the article, the fact that it doesn't actually mention Johnny Depp's name, it's hard to imagine that he would get $1 million in damages even if he does win. Meanwhile, Johnny is asking for $50 million. Meanwhile, Heard is countersuing for $100 million, accusing Depp of, I think, lying about her. Now, according to an article from Court TV, they say that the lawsuit is supposed to center on whether Depp was defamed in the article. That is the locus of this particular case. and yet most of the trial, according to this article, is focused on, quote, ugly details of the couple's brief marriage. I think they were only married about a year. And then Depp denies ever striking Heard, while Heard's attorneys argue that Depp not only physically assaulted her, but also in a sexual way, and that his denials lack merit because he was often drunk and high to the point of blacking out. They're saying him denying that he did anything don't really mean anything because he didn't know really what he was doing. He wasn't compos mentis. I've got to say, I can't get over the name of the defense attorney in this case, Rottenborn. I mean, when Johnny Depp first said his name, I thought he was sort of manipulating his actual name, but that is his actual name. Doesn't it sound like a character in a darkly comedic Tim Burton flick? Anyway, going back to the Core TV article, I'll put a link to that in the description as well. Quote, Rottenborn introduced the articles to try to demonstrate that the 2018 Post article at the center of the case is not what damaged his reputation, but instead a long history of his own bad behavior, end quote. Now, I think that's really a fair argument, the fact that there were actually a lot of other articles that I think predated Amber Heard's article, and he didn't do anything to counter those. I also heard on another channel, I haven't been able to independently verify this, but I heard that when they got divorced, part of Amber Heard's rationale for getting divorced was, I think, something like DV or something in that line. And he didn't contest that. And I think that is significant if it happens to be true. But in the same way, if other articles were written and he didn't contest those, then it does feel a bit rich in the legal sense that he's contesting this one article from Amber Heard. Now, one of the key legal tests is whether actual malice is involved in the defamation. Did someone know something wasn't true and then purposefully they misled someone or a group to believe some or other deliberate misrepresentation? A deliberate misrepresentation that presents somebody in a unfavorable light, right? And did that then cost Johnny Depp work? That's a tougher one. And hearing the various video and audio clips, it's difficult to get a sense that there isn't any actual malice, both ways. If there is, doesn't it cancel one another out? The actual malice issue, which is a legal test, it's a legal issue, may also be why Amber Heard has posted this as her final and most recent post to Instagram. It seems generous and wishing Johnny Depp well, or in short, it appears not to be malicious. But that'll be up to the jury to decide. Who has been the more malicious between the two? Has there been any malice? And if so, what does it really deserve in terms of a cash settlement amount, right? So what is your opinion? Is Johnny winning? Has Johnny won? And if he does win, how much should he get? Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.